Fair enough. All right. Okay. So we are playing Stars Without Number. It's a tabletop role-playing game, and just for anyone watching who doesn't know what that is, just a really brief intro. It's a sort of adventure-based game creating a story where you all play a character who just goes out and does some sort of adventuring in general. And so whenever you describe what your character does, and whenever you take an action, the way the outcome isn't immediately clear, you roll some dice, trying to beat a target number to see if you're successful or not at that action. That's just the basic mechanic of the game. Now, as for Stars Without Number specifically, it's set in the year 3200 in the distant future, in the broken remains of the human empire, some hundreds of years after a massive disaster almost wiped out humanity. So the short version of the story is that mankind found a way to travel amongst the stars with these things called spike drives that were our version of faster than light travel. Went out, colonized thousands, maybe even millions of worlds before one day, 600 years before the current day, there was a massive disaster called the Scream, which wiped out all of the psychics and advanced technology relying upon that. And with that, society completely and utterly collapsed with all the worlds cut off from each other, and so spent the next several hundred years struggling to survive, well, those ones that survived. And so now, eventually, technology's starting to be rebuilt, and different stellar empires are starting to reconnect, but it's still a very Age of Exploration type sort of vibe and feel to it, but set in space instead. And so we find ourselves in the sector Amber Row on the planet Weissel in the Cipriano sector, or system, where we find three adventurers in the only city on the planet. It's a massive economic hub and spaceport for the region, with lots and lots of trading and people moving through the area. And these three guys have met up and decided to take out a massive loan for a spaceship together, and then work to pay off that debt and make something of themselves.
Sounds like a solid plan.
I will say, yeah, you guys have already met like the day before and all talked it out and decided to get your spaceship.
The day before?
Yeah. Or the week before, you've met, but it's not like you guys are super well acquainted with each other.
Yeah, I mean, if it was like 24 hours, we moved really fast.
Yeah, I mean, some like day or days or whatever. I mean, this place is a really big hub for people looking for work and people looking for like ships, parts, pretty much everything. It's a massive trade hub. Because are we on the map screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the. I'll draw a better circle. That's close. It's roughly a circle. It's a shape.
It's better than before.
Yeah, so this area being very central to a lot of systems around it, just sees a lot of traffic coming through, and so the spaceport on this planet is a huge hub of, of traders and workers and the like. So that's how you guys basically met up. You met up through some exchange agency, like that pairs people together looking for similar sorts of work and the like. So it wasn't totally like you just met a random guy at a bar and like, hey, let's buy a spaceship.
Which one of us would have kind of been like headlining this and setting this up? Because like, I feel like my character was probably looking for other people to join with, maybe, but not really probably setting it up himself.
Okay, so who posted the space ad?
Yeah.
Well,
space grade list.
Fareed would just be like the engineer guy, so he wouldn't have been looking to bankroll anything.
So I mean, was it just
no one's bankrolling?
Yeah.
We're all broke here.
I think two of you are more broke than the other one. I can't remember who though. So it's probably just Darga then. I guess that kind of makes sense that you would post the ad. You're looking for a crew, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have much money. I'm pretty broke.
I think everyone's pretty broke.
Going into this.
Yeah, someone has
Yep.
like $10 to their name though. It's great. Like they can't even afford to like eat or rent a hotel room. So that's probably the reason it only took a couple of days because they're like, yeah, I can't actually afford to.
Just a little bit desperate.
Yeah,
It's like there are reasons that you have to take a job on some random ship rather than just, I don't know, work in a diner.
yeah. So, I guess we'll say that the first scene is you guys are in the space bar on the planet, where there's all sorts of hollow boards and stuff displaying various things. Like one's got a list of job postings, other one's got times for transport ships coming in and leaving, other one's got the local news on it, and the like. And you're all having some space beer or whatever you like to drink.
Space beer.
Yeah. Just put the word space in front of everything normal. Makes it fine.
Yeah. It's just like
You guys are sitting
in
around a table.
in
Yeah.
Shadowrun, everything is cyber.
Exactly. Except it's a little less gritty. Or it depends on the planet.
Where was the space beer brewed from? Where's the brewery?
It's written in a language
Yeah, I
you
do.
don't understand on the back of the bottle. It's imported.
Damn.
Turns out it's actually brewed in like the third stomach of some weird insect.
That's probably why they didn't bother writing it in English.
They're just like, and then they just pass it off and they're like, oh, multiculturalism.
Mm-hmm.
We're just respecting the native species, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's just too lazy to look it up.
Well, no one wants to know.
Yeah. It tastes good to get you drunk. That's what matters. Yeah. So one of you guys has your data pad or your comm pad or whatever in the middle of the table, and on it, you've got two lists up. So you've got a list of jobs and a list of ships. So you've already secured an arrangement with a shipyard industry that they'll give you the loan to buy a ship. I suppose actually we'll do this first. So retroactively, who was the person that made the deal with the shipyards to secure the loan?
Who has some sort of business or anything of that kind?
Yeah, I don't think anyone actually has business.
I think I have
Okay.
bureaucracy.
Yeah, you have bureaucracy, but I think this is a business role, and I think it'll be charisma based. So
Okay, Fareed does not make deals.
okay,
I'm not awful at this.
Or do you think maybe it was
I don't know,
Dostaga
I thought I had
trying.
I have 13 charisma.
You have 13. I thought you had 14. Well, someone can make the business roll at -1 or +1. If you've got a +1 charisma, that'll be at a 0, and someone can help.
Yeah, I have 14 charisma, but no relevant skills besides bureaucracy.
Okay, so the +1 charisma and the -1 business cancel out to be flat 2d6. But do you want to help Dostaga?
How would I help?
Just by,
How do I?
I mean, just roll. Yeah, so roll
Yeah.
2d6
If you
-1.
succeed,
Though, but
you give me a benefit. If you don't,
yeah. So it's like you were both. Yeah. So I suppose all three of you were there for the arrangements, but
-1, you said?
yeah, 2d6 -1.
The fuck?
Okay, you are no good at space business.
I'm
Alright,
just like
Fareed
pretending
attempts to help
he
as well.
wasn't one of the people signing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I guess he's just into ships.
What difficulty was this at?
It was just the higher was going to be the better you did. So 7, that's
Okay.
okay.
So I somehow managed to get that. I don't know.
Oh wait, that was Farad. Wait,
Yeah.
so we got
Yeah.
an 11.
I was the one actually making the deal, and they were.
Yeah, I was just
Oh,
rolling
yeah,
to
sorry,
help.
I mislooked. Okay,
Yeah.
you got an 11. That's awesome.
Woohoo!
Yeah, can you just roll a D100?
Is this the table I think it is?
No. Yeah, you get space fear.
No, is
No,
the Bornheim one?
No, I'm not doing Vornheim. Okay, so yeah, you manage to get a rate of 5.09% per annum, which is like ridiculously good.
Yeah. Considering
Okay.
the options were way higher than that.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, I
yeah.
mean, literally the minimum would have been 5.01. So,
Yeah. So yeah, like, what did this guy or girl look like? Like, who were they?
so there were a representative of a shipyards that are out in another system that buy and sell ships. So they've made an arrangement with the person that you're going to buy the ship off of.
Is this like the sleazy used car dealership of
Basic-
ships? Kind of
Basically, yeah. But that's just how it works. You guys don't have a lot of options. So
Okay.
you've made the deal with the sleazy guy, but you've actually managed to do a pretty good job impressing him.
I feel like
So-
I just sort of turned his like whole technique around. He was just like trying
Yeah.
to sell me on all the features and things, and I'm just like, oh yeah, like I have a lot of like medical knowledge and things, so like I pick up that like he has like a bad leg or something, and I start like
Mhm.
selling it back to him, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I mean you can really kind of see like this ramp is like good with your leg and things. And I'm like, yeah, this shit, I'm like, and I'm just like keep pointing out all these features that would be like make it really really nice for him and things, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, I mean. Yeah, you have a lot of good points, and I just
Yeah.
like somehow confuse him into the point of just like completely inverting the relationship.
That's awesome. Yeah. So if your career as a science technician doesn't work out, you can always become a used ship salesman.
Yeah, I mean, there are worse ways to die.
Yeah, there are. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
So that's that sorted. So now looking at your so that was like a flashback sort of scene to
Yeah.
when you guys were securing the loan. So now they'll pay the full amount for whichever ship you end up wanting to buy. So you guys have all got a data pad
All right.
with these these two listings on it. So you get One
What
spaceship.
is power? What does power mean for the spaceships? I'm looking at one. One has 6 power. What is?
So that's how much power's remaining. So basically, it's a free merchant ship. So that's the hull, the basic hull of it, and the hull then just gets filled with stuff like the engine and the weapons and the systems and life support.
Yeah.
So the hull of a free merchant supplies 10 total power, and the different subsystems you get each take up like 1 power or 2 power or whatever. So the power column is how much. Yeah, the power and free mass and hard points are how many of those are remaining. And then, the crew is minimum/maximum. So you need a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 6 on these ships.
Yeah.
So-
Basically, instead of having to measure out individual megawatt hours, it's just power as
Yeah.
an arbitrary
Oh.
unit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's probably like, 1 power equals 100 billion kilowatts or something. So, I guess, so that's got all the stats of the ships, but the main difference between them, they've all got atmospheric configuration. They all have 100 tons of cargo space. That was it. The Odyssey has only got 1 weapon, but it has better armor, or rather, it is better against armor-piercing weapons.
What is a Reaper battery?
So that does 3d4 damage. I mean, and it's got the clumsy tag, which means it's not as good against fighter type
Well,
ships.
what kind of weapon is that?
It's a torrent of charged particles.
Okay. I wasn't sure if
Yeah,
that
so-
was one of those like spinal ship-mounted weapons where it's just like, oh, it's the length of your ship, and it can like thrust you
No.
backwards, sort of deal.
No, I mean they totally do the awesome name to get people to buy them.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's like a torrent of charged particles that doesn't have great armor penetration and isn't very good against fighters, but if it scores a good hit, then it's pretty good. Because what were the differences? Yeah, so that's the difference between the weapons. So yeah, the Odyssey has 1 less weapon, and the other 2 have different weapons. The Ethereal Dancer has extended stores, so your life support will last for twice as long. So it's got 168 man days, whereas the other 2 have 84. And the Aquila Blue has fuel scoops instead. So those are basically the differences, and then there's the difference in price from all those things.
I feel like the Ethereal Dancer just seems the best
Yeah.
deal.
I agree.
I was liking that.
I was wondering how much of that is based off of the life support.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't want to suffocate to death in the middle of space.
Yeah.
At
That
least
is-
until we
yeah.
have an AI that can fly us to safety for us.
That's a good point. Okay, and I suppose it is the cheapest ship as well, so that's always a plus.
No.
It's even cheaper than the Swan Song.
I don't remember how much that one cost.
It was $7.75.
That works. So yeah.
Okay. So you guys get the Ethereal Dancer, and they will throw in a free name change if you want to change it to the last question, was it?
Yeah. I think that's
Yep.
the one we decided.
Yeah.
What was that we decided on that name? Because it probably wasn't the actual story by this point in time.
Yeah. I mean, or
Like-
maybe it was. Maybe someone read the free ebook version of the ancient text.
The 2,000-year-old short story.
Yeah, it's like 1,200.
Yeah, I guess. It's not that far in the future. But still. Really old.
It's yeah. I mean, it would be like reading, one of the the Epic of Gilgamesh or something today.
Is that about the equivalent?
I think so. Wasn't that like?
I mean, no, it would be like 800s or so. So
Oh, wait, yeah. I don't know. I
Medieval
just thought of the
texts of
oldest.
some
I just
sort?
thought of the oldest story I could.
yeah, it would be some like Roman or like medieval stuff,
Yeah, that's true.
and Rome, early medieval, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's that weird period where I'm not sure what you call it.
It's kind of a weird period because it's sort of like everything collapsed for like a
Yeah.
couple hundred years. Took a while to get going again. Okay.
So the question is, who is the arts major who read this?
It was the what, sorry?
Who was the one who studied the Bachelor of Arts and read this
Oh.
book?
Well, I don't think it was Adrian, because you're a trained biotech technician, right?
Yeah, I feel like the arts department and like literature and all that were one of the first ones to kind of fall apart and get taken out on the planet. And like their weird little departmental bureaucracy wars.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they lost funding first.
I don't know. Do you spend a lot of time reading Farad on your your space travels around?
Perhaps I reckon it's more likely that he would have come across it on his home planet, being a bit backwards.
Okay. Was it like an? Actually, how would it have been written? I mean, they probably have books on your planet, although most of them are
True.
probably like the propaganda of the local warlord who happens to exist and own the printing
Yeah.
press that's been captured like 10 times over.
It's like this weird
Yeah, captured
propaganda
and
where it's
recaptured.
actually like just a bunch of like crazy sci-fi and fantasy stories. Like he just
Yeah, or
names
maybe just,
everything
like-
after like Tolkien.
Yeah, it could have been like there was a particular warlord on your planet who just read some books and just really thought they were cool and named stuff after them and everything.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of those names stuck in your head.
It's like
Yeah,
all
so
classic literature stuff for us, but like in this time period, it's just like super anachronistic and weird.
Yeah.
And old.
Actually, yeah. How much of each other's backstories have you told each other? Like, have you told each other where you're from, what you used to do?
I would definitely
Um,
let people know what I did because like my whole thing is that like I know a lot of medicine and I'm useful for that exact reason.
It's fair enough.
So I would have been like, I came from this planet, and I trained in a bunch of medicine and stuff. I don't think I would have talked much beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd basically just tell them that I'm from that planet. I don't know, I forget the name of the planet I was from. And I
Tusa.
was kind of like a Tusa, and I was kind of just like a merchant person there. That's basically it.
Yeah, Farid wouldn't talk much about Edo, but he would just, if when pushed, explain about his travels and engineering. I fix this, I fix that. That's what I do, I fix stuff.
Fair enough. Okay, so you got like a little bit of an intro, but not like the full details. So still plenty more to come out.
They call me the doctor. I fix people.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a spaceship now.
Right.
You can write that on your character sheet. 1 spaceship.
I mean, that's only like 1 weight, right?
Yeah, there's only 1 of it, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a weight list in the DMG, so I guess it must be like one of those miscellaneous weight items. Okay.
You can just have it ready at all times.
Oh, move down. Okay.
Okay. So the ship will come fully fueled, fully life supported, and all that.
Fareed seems excited because it means he won't starve tonight.
Yeah. So now you guys have a place to stay that's not the like space hotel on the planet.
What does everyone look like, by the way? Like, Adrian is probably super tan, like, excessively thin, almost. Like, to the point where it's just like, is that really healthy? What's going on there? But it doesn't seem like he's not eating, so it's just kind of like, something weird's going on with that. And just like, he probably doesn't have glasses. His skin is probably just like super, just like pristine almost. Besides the fact that like he's almost overly tan. And beyond that, just kind of nondescript. He doesn't have like any scars, any tattoos. He's always wearing like clothing that is pretty like bland and lets him like blend in with people. He's like definitely trying not to be noticeable.
Fair enough.
I basically look like Han Solo. I'm just gonna go with that. I'm basically just a copy of Han Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Yeah.
Except my skin is purple and I breathe acid.
Yeah, we just leave that detail out until like episode 10.
Oh yeah, like, oh, by the way, I just like open it with my antennas. Wait, what? Just kind of
Fareed's probably just like average ship's engineer, wearing overalls kind of thing, has some sort of a tool belt hanging off his side all the time. Comes from like an Arabic desert world kind of a thing, but hasn't been there for ages, so spent lots of time in space.
Yeah, actually, that's the thing. I think, yeah, you and Dostaga, you guys both speak Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
your homeworld's languages happen to be the same.
Salam alaikum. That is actually Arabic. I do know.
I
Yeah.
do not know a single word in Arabic, so there you go.
Correct.
I know 2 words in Russian.
Meanwhile, my character is like some weird mix of like English, French, and Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a good language, a good range of languages between you all.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're done with the flashback of you guys buying your ship from the guy with the bad leg. You may have like have an eye patch, and maybe it was like a wooden prosthetic one, but may have been a literal space pirate.
I
we
feel like
flash
we would
forward
have gotten a
again.
way worse loan if it was actual pirates.
No, well, it wasn't the pirate making the loan. He was just the guy that used to own it.
Okay.
So
Worked out.
yeah, it worked out for you guys.
Okay.
So yeah, now we flash back forward to you guys sitting around the table at the space bar, looking at your other table. So you've got the three possible jobs. So there's like a huge like scrolling list. They've got them on the holo displays, up on the walls and that, and on pillars of like just jobs scrolling by and stuff. And there's just tons and tons of them, but most
So
of
it's
them
like a
are
live feed of Craigslist postings and some dive
exactly. They just so you know, they have been sanitized. They are different sections. So these are more for the like industrial type ones. If you are interested in other kinds of work, there are the other sections.
So we can't go on like the male seeking male and prostitute ourselves off for money.
You could. I mean, I don't know if that's what the other two are interested in as much. But yeah, so you, like Dostaga
If
can
the
walk
cargo
off and
bay
we
is
have a two-man.
empty, we'll take on whoever wants to use it.
Yeah, so there are 3 contracts that stand out from the list of ones that you guys would probably be able to fill. And those are the 3 on this table. So the first one is finding a derelict ship that's mysteriously lost contact and returning it to the nearest space station or news of what happened to it. The next one is some sort of cargo delivery from point A to point B, and the last one is going and tracking down a guy and bringing him back to the place you're at now. I have all the details there.
I would
Fareed stabs
definitely
his
be-
finger at the top one and just says, "I can fix this ship."
I would be pushing for it, and I'm just being like, this pharmaceuticals, our med bay is kind of empty. It would be if they won't notice some of them missing if the ship is already in ruins. If a couple of them just happen to also get damaged and destroyed, we can get a payout and cut down on some expenses.
Fareed just, "I agree. I can fix that ship."
Yeah. Why not?
Hashtag
We don't really
Gilbert.
know what's out there. But
At least they're not
Yes,
being
but-
shady about it. I mean, I point out
Yeah.
the second one, and I'm just like, they literally told us nothing about this. I mean, if anything looks like a trap, it's got to be this, right? Right? Definitely. Space
Fair enough.
serial killers.
I mean, if it is a large supply frigate, 2,000 credits to return it safely, or 10,000 credits upon proof of destruction. If we find that there's more than $10,000, more than 10,000 credits worth of supplies on it, we could do that.
Yeah, and if they don't even want the scrap, there's always someone
Yeah.
will buy it. Seems
Exactly.
like the least likely to screw us over.
Fareed just like, "The ship is broken. I can fix. All good."
Do you
Easy.
have really broken space English, or is or do you
I
just
have
not like
charisma.
talking?
Well, no,
So
I
bit
have
of both?
charisma of the lowest possible.
Yeah, he was the one that rolled the 3 on it somehow.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Literally
you're
the
just
lowest possible.
like
I just
hate
have no
words.
time for. Yep. I hate words.
so he's just like this. That's why he's like the spaceship engineer, and why he didn't get along too well on his planet. That's basically the Krogan homeworld.
Listen. I'm just really into engines. No offense, but I mean, until you have a combustion port, I'm not into it.
I mean, he's just like Garrus. He's just there calibrating all the time. Okay.
yeah.
There is a contact number that you can call, and there'll be someone that'll give you more details when you want to accept it
Yeah.
as well.
I'd say we just go to the ship and start prepping to leave, and I'll be
Yeah.
calling them up as we
Yeah.
go up in orbit or whatever.
Okay. So yeah, you call them off your compad or whatever, and so it rings and the phone answers, and a woman's voice says, hello, this is Polytheme National Research and Pharmaceutical Corporation, Weisel Branch. How can I help you?
Hello, this is Adrian Theranos. I'm calling in regards to your posting about your missing supply freighter.
Ah, yes, the Archimedes Angel up in you hear well, actually, suppose you don't hear clicking on the keyboard because it's like a hollow keyboard. Just hear a pause. It's in the Tindarius
Well, what
system.
tech level is this? It might be a real.
This is all tech level 4.
Instead of
I like to
switches, it's all
imagine tech
switches.
level 4. Yeah, maybe it's just You
People
do
get
some time.
really snotty about what wavelength of light you use on your hollow keyboard for response times.
Yeah. Oh god, and then there's there's massive internet posts about it with people arguing.
They're
The internet hasn't gotten any better in the future.
infrared wavelength is better than ultraviolet.
Yeah, just Alt-Tab out of that. Just swipe that off before we get drawn into it again.
Okay, yeah.
Or
Then I'll just be like, we are heading out to the location now, but we are requesting any additional information that you may have that could prove useful in this manner.
yeah, we're pulling up our file on it. The ship was chartered to a private organization using our labs. So it's listed as a supply ship. I don't have the manifest here, but it was just traveling through the system and failed to check in at any port and no transponders have been responding for several days.
Do you have information on how many crew were aboard?
Well, the hull is listed as free merchant, so and she looks and says there were four crew members aboard. It looks like.
Alright, and... Okay, so if there's been no transmission, then I don't expect much else can be done until we get out there. Alright, thank you. And I just, like, transmit our, like, ship info to be like, hey, we're on this job.
Yeah, so when you like accept it, it's got like the hollow like stuff to, fill in your spaceship details and all that, and so
Yeah.
you send that off.
Fill out all our space insurance crap.
Okay.
You're not liable if your ship gets eaten by pirates, consumed by a black
Basically.
hole, etc., etc.
Yeah, there's a huge disclaimer that's just like, well, actually no, it's a short disclaimer that just says we accept no responsibility for anything bad happening.
The legal system has gotten very, very efficient in the space future. Okay, so is that in this system? No.
No, so the system is the Simodis system, which is the one hex straight up from you guys.
Okay,
How long does it take to travel from one system to another?
A week.
because we have the
Okay.
low-level spike drive.
Yeah. And yeah, because I think you guys only have one free power as well, so you'll need to get a reactor upgrade. I
We have
think.
2 free power, don't we?
Oh, you have one. No, 2. Yeah, you guys have 2. Yeah, so you guys could. Yeah, what do you? Oh, it's because you guys don't have fuel bunkers. That's where the difference is. Yeah, so you guys do have enough space to upgrade your ship's reactor, but it's 200,000 for the next spike trap level, or 100,000. It's more than you guys have.
Significantly more.
Yeah.
We have like negative 700,000.
Pretty much. So, do you want to talk about the layout or the look of the ship at
Alright,
all?
yeah.
I imagine.
Have we like done any sort of renovations or like decorating? Like, did you guys bring anything with you to put in the ship to like make it more livable?
I have my backpack with my like monoblade and all my stuff, and then a Playboy calendar. That's all I have. It's a Playboy calendar.
Is
It's
it
like
like an old style paper one? Like,
Is
Yeah. Oh
it-
yeah. It's an old style.
damn.
paper one.
Is it actually like super super old?
Yeah, is it for like the
Yeah.
current year, or is it for like
Is it like 1,000 years
1992?
old?
No, it's like a 1975. It's 1975 Playboy bunny. Old
Okay.
calendar. It's nice.
Okay, and then so like space Playboy then is going to be like, oh, here's this weird alien species from 2 sectors over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's
it's
just
probably it's probably not literally from 1975, because if it was, it would be worth more than the whole spaceship. But it's like
Yeah.
a reprint
Yeah.
of the one from 1975.
Yeah.
You can make that your character's goal, like acquire a real copy of this calendar. Because I imagine that a free merchant ship is like one level. It's like one level, and then sort of the cargo is like 2 levels below, and there's like ladders used to get down. Because
Yeah. Okay.
they're not big ships. I think it's something like probably like 50 meters long. I mean, it only takes one person to crew the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not very big.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have brought along a lot of weird looking medical equipment to the point where you're just like, I can't actually comprehend how this could be used for making anyone better. It's just like a horrible looking saw and like weird syringes and things and like tanks of liquid and such, and it's just like, I'm pretty sure that's not for making people better. And it's just like all this weird medical equipment, but beyond that, I'm just like, yeah, I don't really own things anymore.
Anymore.
Leave it at that.
Okay.
I
I suppose
I'd probably have
yeah.
like a lot of books though, just like all sorts of weird reference books.
Yeah. So you've got like your big biotech library. Because you were a biotech crew on a ship, weren't you? So
I have like
was your-
biotech training and then like all sorts of different like science training and background. So like, let's look at what exactly they are. So, yeah, I have science, and then I have like every single tech except SciTech. So yeah,
he's like the scientist.
if I'm somehow able to become psychic, I can become the ultimate scientist, but until then, I'm almost. So
I
yeah,
think there are ways to do that, just not particularly safe. And maybe like you got a 99% chance of getting space cancer and a 1% chance of getting psychic powers. So
yeah.
and space cancer is a lot worse than regular cancer.
Yeah, you get
Okay.
eaten by space tentacles. It's really unpleasant. Okay, so yeah, I feel
I
like
guess.
I
yeah.
probably wouldn't really have much in the way of personal effects. I feel
Okay.
like that was both discouraged, and anything I did have probably did not survive me leaving the planet.
That's fair enough. Because did you leave on good terms, or was it like I can't remember?
Out of character, it would be like, so like I was transferring from department to department slowly, just like siphoning off all of their special niche knowledge, and then moving this, then just like sort of like pseudo betraying them and moving to a different department. And so like I went through like 5 or 6 different sub-disciplines until they caught on that I was just stealing everything good and using it for myself. And then they finally like got over their interdepartmental BS to like throw me out. But like in the process, I had like figured out kind of how to get past all of their different things. So I stole a bunch of stuff and just ran when I figured it out.
Awesome. So if we go back to your home planet, probably not going to be too welcome.
I mean, it depends what part, but not for most of them.
Yeah. It's not a reliable safe haven.
No. But I mean, if some of the old staff is gone, who knows? A lot can change.
Say yeah, because Dostaga, you weren't kind of similar thing happened to you, wasn't it? Like you were kind of had to suddenly leave your planet.
Oh yeah, no, like I have nothing besides what was in my backpack. I realized I was, basically under attack, and so I just had to find the nearest ship off the planet and hopped on it and went.
Was that did you like stow away, or was it just like the next person going anywhere? You just jumped on and were like, here's
Yeah, it was like yeah. I just gave them like as much money as a bunch of credits, and
Yeah.
that's, like literally the next ship that was leaving the
Okay.
planet, I jumped on.
So that's like why you don't have that much money anymore. Like you ridiculously overpaid to be like, can we leave
Yeah.
literally right now?
Yeah,
like right now, looking at my space watch, we gotta go.
It's like, I will
I, like,
pay you
ran up
extra
to the
if
ship,
you
like-
abandon your friend, so we can leave now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I sprinted up the ship, just handed them a bunch of credits, and then we just took off immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, and just for reference then, if you guys, because I suppose you probably did like say, but just by coincidence, yeah, Adrian's home planet is in the Iasis system, which is directly west of this system, and Dostaga's home planet is directly south
Okay.
on the map. So you guys aren't actually that far from home,
I don't
or
remember
from
what
either
my
of yours.
system was.
It was the purple one, the one with the purple star. Your planet, I forget your planet's name off the top of my head.
There was also ISIS, that system.
Iasis is the system.
Okay,
It
I
was
know the planet.
Aeschylus.
yeah. The one we never really decided on the pronunciation of.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, and then Farad's home planet is somewhere up north, which
Yeah, far away.
and I guess you didn't really spend that much. You haven't been there for a long time, have you? It's been years, right?
It was like my childhood to early teens, and then escaped. off to Deligianus, I
Yeah,
think was the one
that's
with the
right.
shipyards, and then lots of travel from there.
Did you bring anything with you onto our ship, or?
Well, when I escaped, I have never owned anything before, and so I guess over my travels, I've just accumulated a whole pile of just junk, like mechanical and electronic junk. That at one point I thought that'll be useful at some stage, and then it's just built up until I've just got junk everywhere.
So you
So you
used a
like-
massive hoarder.
You like roll up with like on a motorized couch that you like drive into the cargo bay.
Yeah.
It's just like covered with weird, just crazy stuff. And
like
meanwhile, we
backup
just have like
servos and
nothing.
computers and
Okay. So you've got like these all these like boxes of all these old computer parts. There's probably like tech level 3 computer parts in there, and you're like, who is
Yeah.
ever gonna want to use this? Like,
but one day
one
they'll come into play.
I have
One day.
16 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, someone will buy that on space eBay. It's still good, right?
It'd probably be worth more because it's so old. You know, it'd be like buying like an analytical engine today, like this giant, like, you know, house-sized computer. Who wouldn't want one of those? That's cool.
Wait, your
But
sticks
see,
of
Fareed
RAM
doesn't
are
plan on
actually
selling
like 4
any of
inches
these
long.
things. It's all just in case he ever needs them.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You might end up stuck on a tech level 3 world and need to fix something, so...
I'll have my junk.
Who knows?
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys have all gotten yourselves set up in your rooms, and so you've decided that Farid is the only one really qualified as a navigator, I think, or I think Adrian has some skill, but Farid.
I have
Just
no
like-
navigation, but I can
Oh, you don't?
pilot.
Oh, that's right. Don't you? Oh no, you don't have navigation. You've got perception. Yeah.
So like I can
Farid is
pilot the ship, but I can't navigate.
Farid is the only one that actually knows how to read star charts, and I'm not gonna do because they didn't do it on Swan Song, and I think it's fine not to do the optional like the rule with like you have star charts that are different ages and stuff like that that adds
Ugh.
plus and minus to your roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the whole thing was that originally like that's why you can't get a computer to just automatically nav chart the courses because it's like so subtle and constantly changing that it's more of an art form than like an actual discipline, but. And then you need to buy star charts that show the current routes before the space currents change and stuff like that in the high dimensional spaces.
And all the psychics are dead. Or don't know how to do this anymore.
Yeah. But they're not nearly as good as they used to be.
Alright.
So,
Excellent.
Away we go.
I was gonna say, yeah, so you guys want to do anything else on this planet before you head off?
No,
I think Fareed wants to be paid as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think we're all just like excessively broke. So we can't really
Yeah,
afford
that's fair enough.
anything.
We just want to get out.
Okay, that's fair enough. So, yeah, so this planet, yeah, so the spaceship is in a hangar on the surface. You probably take a maglev train across the surface to the hangar because everything at this planet's atmosphere is slightly corrosive. And it's not like melt the skin off your bones kind of thing, but it degrades metal really, really fast. So most of the buildings have a cladding of like ceramics or just glass and ceramic. So yeah, you go along the surface along a train to a hangar, so it keeps everything nice and centralized, and that's why there's only just one big city where the little outlying parts are linked by train. And you get to the hangar, you find your ship, which was once the Ethereal Dancer, but has now been rechristened and renamed the Last Question. So, I'll update
Make
that.
it sound like there's some sort of ceremony involved.
It's just like you sign some paperwork.
Okay.
And then some guy goes up and like
Smash
spray
champagne
paints
bottle.
it.
Yeah, like just paints over the name and you're like, yeah, like a Sharpie and write the last question.
There's probably like some like complimentary mini bottle of champagne that they like throw at it.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you guys 10 credit. Nah, that comes with it.
Okay. So do the most important role in the game, I guess.
Yep. So you fly out into orbit and get ready to head off to the Simode system.
Alrighty.
Drum roll.
Fareed hammers away at the keyboard. That's
We
alright.
don't die.
Okay. Yep. So everything looks pretty good. You punch it in and fly off. So it took you guys about 12 hours to fly to the edge of the system, and now you're gonna spend the next 6 days in extra dimensional space flying along. So how do you guys? Because long space travel is like a part of life. So what do you guys do for 6 days in space?
Fareed probably just tinkers with the ship, is familiarizing himself with it and the systems and the just tinkering.
I feel like I'd be quizzing them about like weird things to do with their backgrounds. I'll be like their medical histories and things, and be like, yeah, did like any of your relatives have like weird diseases or mutations? Did you have like a sixth toe when you were born? Just like weird questions that are kind of disturbing like that, and they're like vaguely related to your medical history, but
Like they're not overtly like weird, which is probably what makes them weirder.
Yeah, it's just like I like intro with the normal like, they have heart disease and weird cancers, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and then it just like out of nowhere, it's just like, did your mom have a third arm? Wait, what? It's just like, why are you? What's going on? Did any of you actually
Fareed
have
answers-
anything strange?
Fareed doesn't have anything strange, but he answers all the questions as if they were perfectly acceptable.
Yeah,
Like, just completely normal questions.
I approve.
Okay.
I'm like very approving of the whole process. Then it was like, oh, they get it. It's important. It's useful.
I trust the doctor.
I just get very confused, and I answer the first couple of them, but then after a while, as the questions get weirder and weirder,
Yeah.
I just get kind of weirded out, and I end up walking away from the conversation, just go back to my room.
Just walk away.
I'm just not dealing with this right now.
I'm just like, yeah, I'll just get a sequencer later, and that'll answer the question.
Yeah. Next time you pee in the space toilet, he's just gonna dip a stick in there and get your information anyway.
You just like notice me collecting hair samples from like the floor of the ship.
You probably find like a couple from the previous owners, so you get the genetic sequence of whoever owned the ship previously.
Like some weird alien also. It's just like,
Yeah.
what? Where'd this come from? Anyway,
I feel like I would spend a lot of time following Farid and just kind of like watching what he does and watching him tinker with the ship, and just not actually really saying anything, but just like standing at a distance and just watching him very closely.
Okay. Which probably doesn't seem weird at all to you, right, Farad? You're just like,
No, I think it's perfectly fine. I asked you to hand me tools and things.
and then
Yeah.
like far in the
Yeah,
distance,
but
I'm
I
sitting-
ask as if you.
Yeah.
I ask as if you know exactly what they are. Like, I just use their technical names and the parts and whatnot.
and then I'm like far in the distance with a notepad, like taking notes on their behaviors and things.
oh, this is good.
So Fareed would like to set up some sort of thing to his compad whereby he can like communicate with the ship's systems.
Okay. I think that's easy.
Compad, I have a compad, not a
Yeah.
data slab. Yeah, just like little backdoors and stuff.
Okay, so like what sort of things? Just like to be able to control, like remotely control the ship's computers and functions and stuff.
Yeah, like open closing doors, life support, that sort of stuff.
Okay. So I mean, there's basic stuff like that, but you can probably do a better job than what like the default arrangement is with a ship. So probably I'm thinking roll computers, but I'm not sure if there's a better skill than that. See how well you do at it.
Yeah.
Anyone think of trying to find the skills?
There's aeronautics. I mean, astronautics, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think no, probably can.
computers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alrighty. That's so 2d6 plus 1.
yeah, 2d6. Yeah, I mean you've basically got most of those sorts of functions are already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can open and close the doors, but you can't do stuff like turn off the life support for the whole ship because there's like it's like error, like failsafe, like you
Yeah.
must like input codes manually, turn the two keys at the same time to turn off the life support sort of deal.
Yeah.
Like you can't route around that.
You can't give
Yeah.
people
Well,
like specifically less oxygen in their bedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
just a subtle amount, just enough to make you loopy.
It's like pianos
You're gonna
controlling acceptive life support.
Yeah, it's much more deadly and resulting in like brain aneurysms and all sorts of things.
And also during this 6-day travel,
Yep.
I decided to set up a like a security pad to get into my room because I think I have both security and computers, so I can kind of I make some funky security system just to get in and out of my room.
Okay, because yeah, I feel like there's probably like a numpad that you can put just a code in, but do you want to make it like
Yeah, like I make it a
Strong.
lot more complicated than just a numpad.
like there's
I have-
probably also like you manually jig up like you've got to like stick like a credit card size thing in a particular part of the door and return that at the same time,
Yeah,
you-
as
then
well
you, like,
entering
put the
certain
thing in.
thing.
and you don't
Yeah.
tell anyone else about this, I assume.
No, I do this when
Okay.
when I notice that they are both doing things on their own, and so then I go and I secretly set up this security system.
Okay, so roll your security
They're both
skill.
really weird. I need to lock shit up.
They're really
Security
weird.
super
Says the
paranoid.
guy taking notes about how many arms there.
No, that's his internal monologue
It's
as
just
he's
2d6
locking
where?
everything up.
It's 2d6 plus.
Wait, security or computer? Just what is-
Secure. It'll be security. So and
Alright,
plus your
this is 0.
intelligence. Do you have high intelligence?
I have my int is 8. No.
No. Okay, so just 2d6 straight up.
Sweet.
Yeah, totally.
Perfect.
So yeah, you totally jig it so that if anyone wants to open your door, in addition to needing like the 4-digit pin, they have to know how to like physically handle the door, like like lock a thing.
There's like
So,
some
yeah.
wire you disconnected under a hidden panel that they have
Yeah.
to like remove and switch back.
Yes, so no one can open your door without you letting them, basically, I guess.
But they can turn off the life support.
Lock doors, vent all corridors to space. Those are the 2 big buttons on my compad.
You've been playing way too much FTL. Everyone get in the med bay, we're just venting the whole ship. Get to the alien spiders.
Starting from scratch. That's it.
I'm just like, we need a better system.
Constantly venting everything into space.
I feel like I need to change one of my goals to achieve better control of spaceships' venting systems.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. That's a pretty reasonable goal.
That'll be
Add
my
more
pre-take one.
vents.
Rid of that. Yeah, add more vents. That's it.
Just the
That's
goal
We
is
get
just more.
maintenance and you just like add like 30 doors to the outside of
Yeah.
space all along the ship.
Oh yeah, that's what I should actually point out now that you say that. Your maintenance for the ship is 3,125 credits a month. And your payments for the actual loan will be around 8,000. I'll need to calculate the number, but it'll be about 8,000 a month.
Do one of you actually have business?
No, nobody has business. You have bureaucracy, and that's the closest anyone's gotten.
Okay. I guess I
I,
have.
I have persuade.
Persuade can kind of help, like, a bit, but, I mean, you guys totally nailed the roles for the business anyway.
It's more
So-
like who's
I have
actually
+1 in
taking
persuade.
care of the finances of the ship, sort of
Of
deal.
the ship. Yeah, actually, so that's the thing, is when you guys are going to get paid, do you have, like, just an account set up for the ship that the money goes into, or do you want to have it just split 3 ways and then pay it off and stuff?
Well, who wants to keep track of the accounts?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Anyone sticking their hand? I'd be happy to.
Okay, you can be the space accountant.
We're probably
Space
all
account.
equally decent at it.
I mean, yeah, you'll all have, like, a hand in, obviously, like, the money you guys are earning, but,
Yeah. I mean, none of us
Yeah.
have like crazy accountant skills.
no. Well, you got bureaucracy, which kind of helps a bit, but it's not quite as...
Yeah.
It's more to do with, like, annoying paperwork than, like, negotiating business terms.
Yeah.
Although apparently
What-
you do really well at that anyway.
What's the date?
So it'll be 7 days later, so it will be the 7th of January. What year is it? Did you put in the overlay scale? 3200.
Okay.
Yeah, so I should put that. Yeah, so the game started on the 1st of January 3200. Yeah, the first day of the new century.
Hooray.
Maybe figuratively and literally as well.
Excellent.
Okay, so yeah, you guys arrive after it took you 12 hours, then another 6 days. So then you arrive in orbit in the Simode system, unless there was anything else you guys wanted to do in space for 6 days.
Was this the place they left from, or they were supposed
this
to
is-
arrive at?
This was just they were supposed to just be traveling through, but this is just the last place they happened to be heard from. So they weren't meant to actually. They were probably going to stop here and refuel, but this was not their destination or their departure location.
Yeah. So, well, like they departed from here and then no one saw them again, sort of deal.
Oh no, they came in from another system. So they came in from I think
Yeah, I
Thorfina
mean, like
system.
they came in here, were seen.
Yeah,
and then
they were
disappeared,
yeah,
sort of deal.
they were definitely like they were here, like they pinged in that they were here, and then suddenly their signal just disappeared
Yeah.
while
So they,
in this system.
They didn't even come in to refuel.
No, they hadn't been to refuel yet.
Okay, so I feel like it would be pointless then to go around to the actual like docks and things, and we should actually just like look around for them in space.
Okay.
Yeah. Just do a scan.
Yeah.
Okay, so just before I forget, though, I'll take off your life support. So it was 7 days, and there's 3 of you, so that's 21 man days down.
Yep.
So you're now down to a 147 out of 168.
It's very nice that that wasn't a fourth of our life support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is pretty good. And you're also down 1 fuel, but you guys have fuel bunkers, so you have two total fuel amount, and you just used 1. So you can make 1 more jump before you have to refuel.
Yeah, but we just need to screw around in the system for a little bit.
Okay.
So like, where they, what
in high
system do
orbit
they leave
of-
from?
Tindaris.
So they came from Thorfina, but they jumped into the Samode system, which is where you guys are now.
Okay.
And there's 2 planets in this system. Yeah, there's Tindarius, and what was the other one? And Nawal. So Nawal is a tech level 4 planet, and Tindarius is only tech level 3, but it has a space station that orbits around it.
Yeah. So
And does anyone have Culture Spacer?
Yep.
I think I do.
Three does.
Too. No, I don't.
Actually, I think.
I only have culture. Aeschylus.
Yeah, I got +1 for culture spacer.
Yeah, you can roll Culture Spacer.
Okay.
For like knowledge about this location.
10.
Okay, awesome. So you would have come through here, coming to Weisel, where you met these guys, and you would have been on Tindarius Station, or at least docked at it.
Okay.
So you know that this area is while there's a lot of trade that comes through here, it's not as popular as Weisel, the other system you guys are in, because there's not even though there is a tech level 4 planet, it's got a low population and it's more geared towards mining. The big thing in this sector is Tindarius Station, which is in orbit around the planet Tindarius. There's a big asteroid field, which is known to be kind of dangerous. Like, lots of mercenaries, pirates, and other undesirables are hanging out around there. And the station itself is kind of a dodgy place. So it's kind of like, it's another economic hub like Weisel, but it's a lot more of the like black and gray market, a little bit more dodgy sort of stuff and people.
Yeah.
There isn't really a proper government on the station. It's just sort of like, it just sort of started off as just like a space gas station and just sort of grew and grew and grew from there.
Okay. I guess as soon as we enter system, Farid will scan for
Okay.
ships.
I guess that's probably computers.
I feel like if they said their transponder wasn't going off, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have to like actually physically find them.
I mean, there are other ways to scan. Like,
yeah,
you
but
can
I mean, like, you'd have to find them not through the fact that they're sending out signals, sort of deal.
yeah, but you do like scan for like, you know, metallic objects, basically like a like higher fidelity version of radar is like what your scanners
Yeah,
are.
I would
sort
have
of thing.
suggested that we like head towards the border, sort of like between this system and Thorfina, sort of like the outer part of that system, and then face inwards towards the sun, so that like if it came in from that direction, the sun, it's going to be between us and the sun, so we can kind of like triangulate it better, because it'll be like, hey, this is blocking stuff that's coming from the sun, so there has to be something there, sort of deal.
Yeah,
Makes it a little more
totally,
obvious where its position might be.
That's a pretty good suggestion. But before you make that, was that roll just then, or was that that was?
No,
your
I haven't
roll
rolled
shot?
it yet. No, it
You
hasn't.
just want to take? We do like our short break for refreshments and that.